This is Lee Sterling of ParamountSports.com, and we just finished watching the 2012 Ole Miss Rebels spring game. Had a great time here in Oxford. The hospitality and the barbecue food was first rate, and enjoyed watching the spring game. See a lot of good things down the road for this Ole Miss Rebel team. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. Hugh Freeze comes over from Arkansas State. He won the Sun Belt Conference. I like his no-huddle spread where the quarterback does not go under center, but it's going to take a little while. He needs to build depth. He needs to start recruiting and building up the recruiting to where it's on par with some of the stronger teams in the SEC. Why do I think they'll have some success this upcoming season? Well, it's new quarterback Bo Wallace. Bo Wallace was originally with Hugh Freeze at Arkansas State, transferred to a JUCO, was the most highly sought after JUCO quarterback in the country, and number 14, Bo Wallace, is a dual threat running and also throwing the football, and he looks very comfortable in this offense. A lot of people thought number 11, Barry Brunetti, might be the starter, but he does not look comfortable in this offense. I think he's a distant second. And then also Randall Mackey, number 1 of the quarterbacks from last year, he'll move over to wide receiver and running back. And the only time you'll see him at quarterback will be when they're running the Wildcat. Now, their best player on the team, Jeff Scott, looks great. Small running back, great in space, but they got to get some depth behind him. And only really one wide receiver looked good in the spring game, number 12, sophomore, Dante Moncrief. So they got to develop some depth at running back and find a couple wide receivers. Happens in time. And their kicking game looks good. So I think they'll score some points, but they need to develop some guys behind their frontline starters. And their defense just does not look big and strong enough and fast enough to compete on an every game basis in the SEC. So the weaknesses here were the defense, especially the defensive end position, offensive line, and the offensive tackle position. They'll have trouble in the red zone. But this is a team we're going to look to play maybe some overs and some first halves on, and maybe against them in the second half when other teams get used to their speed and their schemes and they wear down because they don't have the depth. I think probably Ole Miss 4-8, 5-7 this year, but better days ahead for the Ole Miss Rebels.